All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our retro pay-per-view review series. This is going to be WWF Royal Rumble 1995. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, man. Let's get into it. You're always going to have that one Rumble that you're always going to question, was this the worst of all time?
Oh, this wasn't that bad. This wasn't that bad.
No, but considering what we've seen to date, this doesn't make the top three. Obviously, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because they brought everybody in at one
Yeah, but
minute intervals.
it was still better than 88, though. Even 89, probably.
The talent in this, I mean, if you look at the actual main eventers that have a actual shot of going to WrestleMania, there's hardly, you can count them on one hand in this match.
No, the roster's, it's depleted at this point.
Yes, which is unfortunate, which why it makes it what it is.
Well, 95 is the worst. It may be the worst.
No, it is. There's no make.
So it's starting off.
It's starting off on the right track. So, let's get going. There'll be some replacements to talk about and stuff. Let's just get right on into it. January 22nd, 1995 from Tampa, Florida. Conveniently where the Royal Rumble is going to be held this year. And let's just hope it's not for the World Heavyweight title like it's been rumored, because maybe Seth Rollins might be out. Who knows? Vince and Jerry Lawler doing the commentating. It's a lot better than Vince and DiBiase, I'll tell you that much. Roughly 10,000 on hand for this one. The buy rate on it was not too bad for this time of year, 225,000. Obviously it's not Attitude Era numbers, but I mean, it is what it is. The whole event started off with Pamela Anderson's limo being met by 30 horn dogs.
All the wrestlers.
Oh my God. Like they ever had a shot.
But for those that don't know that, I mean, some people were watching this review and they were watching at this point, but if you weren't, Pamela Anderson was like the biggest thing on the planet at that point. Baywatch was the number one show in the world, and Pamela Anderson was a big star at that point.
Yes, she was. And what she is doing here tonight is she will accompany the winner of the Royal Rumble to ringside in the main event of that year's WrestleMania. I don't want to say this year's. Everybody's going to think she's going to show up this year. So, you had all these guys, including Dink, is over there, all trying to sweet charm her and whatnot. Oh, boy. So I thought that was funny. They would also, it was funny because, she pretty much, when she gets in the ring with the winner, she doesn't want to be in there with him, and then she doesn't even walk him down the ringside, which is amazing. But watch the WrestleMania review, you'll see why.
Yeah. She was supposed to, Shawn Michaels is a heel, so that's why she was acting like she was disinterested. Now, some people thought that, she did a bad job, and look, she didn't even care. She didn't even want to be there. That's not what it was. She was supposed to do that because it was Shawn. So we'll get into it.
All right. Now, our opening match of the night for the Intercontinental Championship, Razor Ramon defending the title against Double J.
Jarrett. Broke 6,000 guitars, never drew a dime when Jeff Jarrett came out. You get a rat piss on cotton. This guy,
especially this night,
getting an icy. Oh, Jesus Christ!
After being there a year, literally doing nothing, and mind you, losing the week before to Bret Hart, to see that Bret didn't have any ring rust for this night,
and William Shatner.
And William Shatner that whole Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, Jarrett losing going into the momentum of this. I mean, it didn't make any sense why he was getting an IC title shot.
No.
He wasn't relevant pretty much for all of 1994, in my opinion.
They were apparently high on him.
I don't know why. But anyway, now during the match, Vince had announced that Lawrence Taylor would be at ringside. He was invited by Big Daddy Cool Diesel. They were at the 75th anniversary NFL dinner the week prior, and he had invited him to be his guest at the Royal Rumble. So we would get to see him later. Unfortunately, the role he takes, oh boy. Anyway, the match itself was pretty good because for the first part of the match, it was a one-sided ass whooping. Jarrett was the one getting the whooping, thank God. However, the match took a weird turn, and I didn't understand this. When Razor went over the top rope, he tweaked his knee.
Yeah,
and then to make matters worse, Rhodey clipped the knee as well. So Razor wound up being counted out. So technically Jeff Jarrett won, but didn't win the title.
Right.
So he goaded the Intercontinental Champion back into the ring. I don't even understand why they restarted this, unless this was the storyline.
Yeah.
Otherwise, count out, we go to the next match. didn't make any sense to me. But Razor's ego gets him back in the ring. Tim White restarts the match, and Jarrett goes to work on the knee, figure four, leg lock, all sorts of stuff. Razor went for the Razor's Edge on Jarrett, could not hold him, and Jarrett rolled him up for the 1-2-3. And unfortunately, Jeff Jarrett is the new Intercontinental Champion.
Ain't I great?
No, he's not. I was really hoping.
What a disgrace.
That this reign would not last.
What a disgrace.
Didn't get that way.
And he wins that title multiple times.
Yes. 2 times in 95 alone.
Jesus Christ.
I know. But Jeff
What a
Jarrett,
disaster.
in 1995 is the Intercontinental Champion.
What a disgrace. And this is another Royal Rumble where Razor Ramon does not actually compete in the Royal Rumble.
He never competed in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that because I would always want to know how he would fare in the Royal Rumble match itself, and he always had he was always involved in a title match from 92 to 96, all title matches.
And he loses most of them, right?
Well, he lost 93. He
194.
194. He loses 95 and loses 96. So yeah. 3 out of 4. Yeah. Anyway. Following that, Todd Pettengill interviewed Pamela Anderson in her locker room. Another one that thinks he's got a shot.
No, it was actually funny. Nobody. I like Todd Pettengill, man.
Where's the horseshoe roses?
Oh, Todd reminds me of? Todd reminds me of just like a New York City radio DJ. Like on that's what he reminds me of. Like he's got that voice.
Well, eventually he went to one of the radio stations in New York.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense because he's got that voice.
Yeah, I remember hearing him. It was like 99.5 or something like that. It was years ago, but I do remember hearing him on the radio. Well, just like what's his name? One of the backstage. Sean Mooney had gone to being a news anchor in New York for a while too, after he left WWE. So they do find something. But yeah, it was real funny.
That damn mullet he had, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was really wearing that one that year. And then plus Stephanie Wyand, a new backstage interviewer, it wound up interviewing. Unfortunately, she got the short straw and had to interview Jeff Jarrett. Ain't he great? Oh, he's not.
Nobody cares, man. They try to get this guy over. They try to push him, and he was never going to get over.
Every time he came back, they tried it, and it just didn't work.
I don't know why.
3 different times, 3 different fails.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
No.
Still to this day, I haven't met a Jeff Jarrett fan. So.
Yeah, I got nothing. In any event, our next match on the card is The Undertaker versus IRS, as The Undertaker is in hot pursuit of wiping out the $1 Million Corporation ever since his return at SummerSlam. He had a little stop, of course, to bury Yokozuna at Survivor Series, but he's back on it now. This time it's Irwin. I thought this match was a little weak, only because, and I'm not trying to take anything away from IRS.
Oh, you can wrestle.
You look at the two. Yeah, you look at the two, and it's just like
it wasn't believable that he could actually, beat the Undertaker or give him like a hard time. It's just that's the feeling that I got.
Now, what was interesting and what changed the tide in the match was after IRS accidentally hits Ted DiBiase in the face, and there's a little dissension between them. DiBiase tells him hold on and summons the Druids, who, mind you, under the cloaks was Jacob Blue and Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey.
Oh, Jesus.
And you could tell it's Jimmy Del Rey after the Undertaker beats his ass because you can see the maroon tights on him, unfortunately. It doesn't help that but at least now you know who was under the mask. Now, during the match, both men had collided and they were down. DiBiase was distracting the referee, so Blue, obviously the taller one, got into the ring and put IRS on top of the Undertaker to try to get the pin. Did not work. Taker with a choke slam and a pin on IRS, no tombstone. So that's how he beat IRS. But the beatdown continued because after the Undertaker cleared the ring, here came King Kong Bundy.
Yep.
And while Bundy was beating him down, they stole the urn. And
damn it.
Yeah, I know. And once Bundy left the ring, it took the crowd to get the Undertaker up off his feet, onto his feet.
All right.
And
to his power.
Yep. And they're going to melt it down.
He was never the same after that.
No, I believe once 1995 hit for him, and once he got into 96, it really wasn't for him, because especially once Mankind shows up, oh my God, the poor guy. So following that, Todd Pettengill they showed it earlier that he interviewed both Big Daddy Cool Diesel, who's not reading the funny pages anymore like he was on the Action Zone. You know, it's game time now. It's serious. He also interviewed Bret Hart, who pretty much threw him out of the locker room. Bret has come back with a new attitude. I really like the attitude, the more aggressive approach that he had in here. He pretty much has had it with getting screwed by everybody. This is coming from Survivor Series 1994.
This is the rematch from King of the Ring 94, where it was champion versus champion, Diesel versus Bret. Diesel was the IC champion at the time, and then of course we know Anvil, interfered, so which saved the title. And Bret had said, "Who knows if I was going to be able to kick out of the jackknife or not?"
Yeah, exactly. And the question ensued here: can he kick out of it? Can he beat the 7 foot?
Babyface versus babyface.
Yep. And that's our next match on the card for the WWF title. Big Daddy Cool Diesel in his first major pay-per-view title defense. Doesn't get any bigger against Bret the Hitman Hart. And this match, oh man, shy under 30 minutes. It did not feel like it. This match was amazing.
They told a great story. The big man versus the smaller man. Bret had the advantage. The longer it goes, Diesel's going to get tired.
Yeah. And Bret's new attitude, he ties Diesel's legs together with the tape, does the figure four on the post, plays possum, anything and everything he had to do. Now, unfortunately, Diesel hit the jackknife powerbomb on Bret and went for the cover, Shawn Michaels came down and attacked Diesel.
Did you notice, though, Bret kicks out? He gets his arm up.
Yes,
he gets his arm
up. I think it was.
And I think what happened was he wasn't sure if Shawn was going to get there in time.
Shawn looked like he was a couple of seconds late.
It looked like he was like, I don't know if he even got there to break that 3.
Because when the 3 was coming down, I think he was coming under the rope.
Right, because you see Bret's shoulder go up, and then they cut to Shawn. They don't acknowledge it, though.
I'll tell you what, don't acknowledge he got down there fast.
He did, because you don't even see him. Like
you kind of see now. Obviously, we've seen this before, so we know what to look for. If you look at the entranceway, when the 1 count comes, you see Shawn.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying initially, when he went down, he was nowhere to be found.
Nope. He should have already been out there.
But I think he screwed up. I think it wasn't as bad as Papa Shango in WrestleMania 8, but
yeah, exactly.
But I think he got there a little bit too late. They don't acknowledge it though. But I remember watching this live. Man. I was at my friend Peter's house. I'm pretty sure Peter was rooting for Diesel. I was rooting for Bret, and I was like, he kicked out. I was like, and I remember rewinding it, and I was like, he got his shoulder, but it's never acknowledged.
No,
he kicked out. He kicked out of the jackknife.
Works for me. Cool. But now, naturally, that would mean, there's a disqualification on Bret Hart. Diesel remains the champion, but the referee ordered the match to continue. So we're going to keep going. It's not like Survivor Series 95 where they say there must be a winner. I don't understand. Maybe
no, but not only did he break, it was bad. It wasn't like he just broke. It wasn't like he just broke the count. Like he's there stomping on him, right? Yeah. Shawn stomped on him.
Oh yeah, he's beating the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And the referee's just like,
we'll just continue.
So now here's another time. Now they say he didn't hit him with it. Some say he probably did. When Bret grabbed the chair and used it to try to hit Diesel's leg, it hit the post, but I think it caught his leg a little bit. But regardless, referee doesn't call for a disqualification there either. Might as well just have made this a no disqualification match. Either that or bar everybody from ringside. We need a winner now. But I can understand why they did it this way for both men to save face going forward.
I get it. I'm just saying
Diesel to be the champion through 95, them to ruin Bret's career through 95.
But it doesn't really make sense when you think about it. But as far as storyline, it makes sense.
Yeah. So now the referee gets knocked down at this point.
Yeah, of course.
So Michaels, Backlund, Owen, Jarrett, and what the hell is Jarrett and the roadie doing in this? Now let's even go back a little further. I missed one.
Owen.
When Bret was going for the sharpshooter,
right.
Owen Hart comes out
and
beats up Bret, and the match is ordered to continue.
There must be a what? No,
not on this one.
Yeah, I mean this is a great match, but it's a little bit of overkill with the outside interference.
Yeah,
But
because
Jeff,
by the third one, it was really ridiculous.
but Jeff, I understand Sean and I understand Bob Backlund
Or even Owen.
What the hell? And Jeff Jarrett didn't even attack Bret because you want to make the argument that he had beef with him because of what happened last week.
Yeah,
he
but he only
Diesel.
attacked Diesel. Yes.
So unfortunately, we have to see Jeff Jarrett not one time but 2 times, and thank God he wasn't in the Royal Rumble. Thank God he was not in the Royal Rumble event. Why is he out there in a prominent position? Why is Jeff Jarrett?
This is the second Royal Rumble in a row that he's interviewed in the title match where he has no business being there.
But at least in '94, it was like a bunch of heels that came out. Even though I didn't want to.
Yeah, but it was
Jeff
a bunch
Jarrett.
of big guys.
Yeah, that's true.
A bunch of guys to take out the 7-foot phenom.
He had no business being there too.
Jarrett's like 6'4". Taker can piss on him.
Is he even 6'4"? He's that tall?
I don't know. I'm just speculating. He's nowhere near the Undertaker. We know that.
Right. Anyway,
and that's when they finally make any sense that he's there.
But that's when they finally call for the belt.
Oh, the ref finally said, "Out of hell!" The match has been ruled a draw.
Then
they all come back after.
But then these are
finally get them out of the ring.
And then these are the destroys everybody.
Comes and gets the chicken wing on Bret. He's a psycho gone.
It looked like it. Well, first Diesel destroys everybody.
Yeah.
He kicked Backlund in the head, and it looked like he kicked him for real, man. It looked like he kicked him hard.
I really don't think he liked him.
I don't know, man. I
don't think anybody liked him.
And then he's trying to like help Bret up, and then Bret's like, "Get off me," because his shoulder was injured. And then eventually, like, they like hug or whatever, and mutual respect.
You're not going to see that 10 months from now.
No. But I mean, this was fine.
At this point, yes. At this point, they're also trying to get Diesel over as a babyface.
Yes, and while also not bring Bret's stock down. So.
Exactly. Well, they'll do that anyway with the 95.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, we've talked about it.
But it was a great match. One of these was the best matches. One of these was the best matches.
And we there's 2 more that they'll have on pay-per-view: Survivor Series '95, and of course, In Your House in February of '96. These 2 will lock up again. Following that, Todd Pettengill, still in Pamela Anderson's locker room. He's in there while she's getting ready. Horn dog. Plus, Stephanie Wyan interviewed Bob Holly and the 1-2-3 Kid, the Cinderella team that's in the finals of the tag team tournament. I'm going to break that down in a minute.
1-2-3 Kid, former tag team champion.
Yep. Around the same time, too, he had he had the tag title.
Yep. For 2 seconds.
We talked about this. Yeah, seriously.
With Marty.
So they replaced the Smoking Guns in the tournament. I think Billy Gunn was injured in a rodeo accident, but they're in the Royal Rumble, so obviously it wasn't too bad of an injury. But it was announced that during the next match that the Smoking Guns would face the winner the following night on Monday Night Raw for the tag team titles.
Right, because at this point the title is vacant because Shawn and Diesel, they broke up.
That made no sense putting it on them.
Right
before SummerSlam, and the head
they do it again, and then they do it again and take it off of them a day later. Remember, 2 dudes with attitudes.
Yep.
But whatever. So we're stuck with this crappy tag team tournament.
The tournament itself wasn't bad. It's the execution and the finals. It
was on Superstar. I think the tournament was on Superstars, right? Yeah.
So let's break down the quarterfinals. Thing was Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka defeated Men on a Mission. That's wrong right there. The Head Shrinkers beat Owen Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. The Heavenly Bodies defeated the Bushwhackers. And the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly beat Well Done.
Oh, God. But you see how watered down the tag team division is at this point?
Yes, very, very much so, yes. Semifinals, Bigelow and Tatanka beat the Head Shrinkers, and 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly defeat the Heavenly Bodies. So now it sets up Bigelow and Tatanka of the $1 Million Corporation against the Kid and Holly. Now, due to 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly being in the finals of this tag team tournament, they were replaced in the Royal Rumble by the Heavenly Bodies. Also in the Royal Rumble, Jim the Anvil Neidhart was replaced because he left for like the millionth time by Rick Martel. So by this point, stop bringing Anvil back. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. So we get to the tournament finals. The titles are vacated. This pretty much looks like a one-sided fight. This is Rocky and Drago, pretty much. And that's not what we got as a result. And, of course, during the match, they show Lawrence Taylor standing there ringside, cheering it on. Bigelow was going for the moonsault. This is where it really got bad. On the 1-2-3 Kid, Tatanka goes into the rope for whatever reason, knocks Bigelow off the top rope. Mind you, he's been busted open in the lip at this point. And the 1-2-3 Kid was able to crawl over and get the pin. And the Kid and Holly are the tag team champions And Bigelow and Tatanka never got a title in their runs there. It would have been nice to see them become the tag team champions. I mean, if you have two more guys getting crapped on that can't get titles, I mean, come on.
Tatanka,
I talked about that. Tatanka should have been the Intercontinental Champion.
At least, at the very least.
Exactly. If anything, now they should have been the tag team champions.
Yeah.
Even if the Smoking Guns are going to walk away with the titles back, I mean, come on.
1, 2, 3 kid, two-time tag team champion.
Two-time tag team champion. So now after the match, DiBiase and Tatanka took off. They left Bigelow high and dry. He's walking around. He's like, "Don't make fun of me." People are laughing at him. You see him making his way around. All of a sudden, he gets in front of Lawrence Taylor.
Because Lawrence was laughing initially, and then he kind of like tried to tell him, like, "Oh,
put his hand out, shake it," and Bigelow pushed him.
He showed him hard too.
Yes, he did.
His glasses went flying.
And the one thing I remember as being a diehard Giant fan back then, you don't piss off number 56. He'll put you on your ass. Except that WrestleMania was really bad. But this is going to be the start of Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania. So, but when Taylor calmed down and he's like, all right. I'm like, oh, shit, you're dead. You're dead, Bigelow. But in any event, following that, they showed the highlights of last year's 1994 Royal Rumble, how dominant Diesel was in the match. Newsflash, Shawn Michaels eliminated more people in this Rumble than Diesel did the year before. I'll get to that in a second. Then, of course, they had the comments from Shawn Michaels, who's so confident and arrogant. He's going, all the big men are going out. And then they showed the finals where it was down to Luger and Bret, who should have really won. And, of course, Lex Luger got the pre-recorded comments from him in regards to this is going to be his year.
Yeah, but
no, it's not.
It's already over for Luger at this point.
Yes, it is. Now, right before the match started, Pamela Anderson was introduced as a special guest hostess. She sat at ringside, and she would accompany the winner of tonight's event to WrestleMania for their title match. Now, it's as far as the eliminations go, like I said, Shawn Michaels did beat Diesel's record. Shawn eliminated 8 people into this match, followed by Crush with 5, which is pretty impressive considering the number he drew. British Bulldog and Lex Luger topped it out at 4 each, which is like, damn, pretty much 2/3 of the list didn't eliminate anybody. But speaking of the list, let's get into it. Now, this is every minute thereafter, the person would come in according to the number they drew. I'm starting to sound like Howard Finkel. Stop it. Number 1 was Shawn Michaels. Number 2 was the British Bulldog. Now, obviously, till this event, nobody that has drawn number 1 has been there at the end. You can't say 1 through 5 anymore because Ric Flair did it. So, at number 3 was Eli Blue. 4 was Duke the Dumpster Droese.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
5 was Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey, and he was the first one eliminated by the British Bulldog.
Thank God.
Dude, you could eliminate half of this Rumble and just had like 6 guys fight it out. At number 6 was Head Shrinker Sione. Number 7, Dr. Tom Pritchard. 8 was Doink. 9, Quang. And 10 was the model Rick Martel. Now, at number 11, Owen Hart came out. And as he's coming out, here comes Bret Hart.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was loving every minute of this. He whooped him so bad that as soon as Owen got in the ring, Bulldog sent him packing. Bye-bye, you're out. So Owen is not having good luck being the heel Hart in the last 2 Rumbles. Number 12 was Timothy Well. 13 was Luke, and by this point now the ring had already cleared. It was full, and then it was back down to Michaels and Bulldog. At number 14 was Jacob Blue. 15, King Kong Bundy. 16, in comes Mo, out goes Mo. Hey, Mo! Mo's gone.
See ya.
I think he broke the record at that point. You know, he just wasn't in there. If he could have just lasted another 59 seconds, Mabel comes in. And Mabel and Bundy was pretty much at this point the highlight for me, watching these 2 Bohemians go at it. Of course, 18 was Butch of the Bushwhackers. 19 was Lex Luger. 20 was Mantar. Oh, boy. Yep. Number 21 was Aldo Montoya. At 22, Henry Godwin. 23 and 24 was Billy and Bart Gunn. Now, number 25 was Bob Backlund. And once again, out comes Bret the Hitman Hart. Going to beat the hell out of him.
Bret had it, man. Bret had it.
I don't blame him. This is why I love that new attitude of his at this point. And as soon as Backlund got in the ring, Lex Luger eliminated him. And then Bret came back and continued to beat the hell out of Bob Backlund. At number 26 was Stephen Dunn. Number 27, which has been the famous number to win the Royal Rumble. Well, no, not this year. It's not Dick Murdoch. Thank God. At number 28 was Adam Bomb. 29, Fatu. And at number 30 was Crush. So now you got the whole field. The final four it came down to was Shawn Michaels, the British Bulldog, Lex Luger once again, him and Michaels in the final four, and Crush. And once Lex Luger was eliminated and Michaels and Crush were teaming together, Bulldog eliminated Crush. And what we thought, Bulldog eliminating Shawn Michaels, became the 2-foot rule. Because I would have been happy either way back then, because once I heard Bulldog's music, watching this for the first time, I was like, all right, he's going to WrestleMania.
You can see Shawn in the background.
Yeah,
you can still see Shawn holding on to the ropes, but once you heard the music, he won.
And then all of a sudden, Shawn comes back, double axe handle, and eliminates him. And you hear Howard Finkel, only one of Shawn Michaels' feet touched the floor.
This is BS. They played his music. They should not play his.
I know. They teased it, and it wasn't right.
It just doesn't make no sense. But I mean, it was something cool with the 1 foot, and apparently, I think it was Shawn's idea, that 1 foot thing. I think it was Shawn's idea.
It would have been cool if they had the in your house things going around that time, because then at the February one, you could have even done something like Shawn puts that shot on the up for grabs against either the British Bulldog or Lex Luger, make it more interesting. But they didn't start that unfortunately until after WrestleMania.
Shawn was the first.
Unfortunately, yes, he is, but it's not saying much when the Rumble goes 38 minutes 41 seconds, because everybody's coming in at the 1 minute intervals. Unfortunately, but
speed it up.
I know, because of the time limits of all the other matches. Remember, Jarrett's match went almost 20 minutes. Diesel and Bret went 30. The tag team title match was almost 16 minutes. So, yeah, they did have to speed it up.
Pam comes into the ring, and she's like,
he's over there dancing, and she's getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels is the winner of the 1995 Royal Rumble. He will go on to WrestleMania to face Big Daddy Cool Diesel. And believe it or not, that was actually a pretty good match, all considering WrestleMania 11. We've already commented and well documented that one. So
I thought this Rumble, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It was
the talent was lackluster in talent. I just didn't think there were too many main eventers that are believable to win the Rumble.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I enjoyed the Bret Diesel match.
Oh yes, definitely.
And the Rumble event was okay. That thing with Shawn was something new. They hadn't done that before, so it was something different. So it was all right. So,
and unfortunately, Rick Martel did not last at least 45 minutes in this Rumble. Unfortunately, nobody lasted longer. Again, because it was running so fast.
And 95 is a very, very, very long year for the WWF.
Thank God we're done with it as far as pay-per-views and Raws. Yeah. Well, at least from the Monday Night War point of view.
Well, not the beginning,
Yeah,
all right.
God.
All right, well, that's our review. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.